I would like to start to thank the organizers first, especially my Israeli colleagues. They organized everything, and I have a very nice trip to Israel, and it's my pleasure to be here and to share my ideas or to discuss the issue from Turkish perspective, from the geopolitical things. And it's my colleague Harry give us a little bit clues on Turkey's position on this issue, but I may try to comment on a little bit from the perspective of politics, geopolitics, or Turkish foreign policy and the regional politics. And this is a big issue. It's not a current one, but this is getting importance for Turkey and all those regional countries as well. And the question is that whether Eastern Mediterranean will be a new second or the second Caspian region for the Europeans and other markets or not. This is a big issue. And that brings the discussion of our conference or title of our conference, whether it's a Casus Beli or a sort of cooperation. It is very important. And by saying it's a Casus Belli, we are making or securitize the issue and discussing zero-sum game. But if we look at the issue from the perspective of cooperation, we are discussing a sort of politicization of the issue and trade and economy and win-win. We have to negotiate, we have to work together, and we have to find some ways to balance already existing interests, to establish some parameters of cooperation, and bring all those economic and political aspects of the issue into the scene. It's very important. If not, issue becomes very quickly a sort of military or security thing, and it's not good. And then, as it was mentioned in the first panel, we already have more than enough conflicts and issues in this region. Therefore, we have to cooperate. And you know, this is a complicated issue. And I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a legal person. I'm not representing officially the Turkish government, but I'm going to speak as an academic, as a professor. And when we look at the issue, there's a couple of points. There are multiple littoral states in the Mediterranean, and this sea is a semi-enclosed sea. It's very important. And there are issues of 6 or 20 miles territorial sea limits in this region. We have 200 miles EEZ or continental shelf limit is not applicable in this region because of the size and all those restrictions, all you know. And we have few yet challenged disputed EEZ delimitation agreements in the region, and no continental shelf delimitation agreements. And we have some other big problems like Cyprus and Middle Eastern issues. And those overlapping and, I may say, disputed claims create an atmosphere and brings all those geopolitical discussions into the scene, and we are just discussing all those things. Some islands' positions, delimitation, international law, these are more complicated issues, but we have to discuss the issue from different perspective, I think. And transportation of the Caspian, Central Asian, and even the Middle Eastern hydrocarbon resources to consumers, notably to the EU, of course. Maybe this is the reason why we are discussing EU perspective as well. EU countries, by alternative routes, has moved Turkey to the central position in the last couple of decades, as all you know. And it is very important also for Turkey, because you know Turkey is the second country after China. The energy need, especially electricity need, is increasing. This makes Turkey a little bit aggressive in energy policy and try to link energy policy with foreign policy as well as the security policy. But it is a new phenomenon, but it's not easy thing. It's not easy job for Turkish officials or authorities to bring all those aspects together and propose some constructive and time to time productive policies within its own region. Of course, Turkey has signed some agreements, and these agreements serve Turkey to cooperate with Russia, Caucasian countries, and even some Central Asians. And at the same time, Turkey trying to link its position, geopolitical situation, between consumers and producers as a productive or constructive partner, and it works in fact. Therefore, making or labeling Turkey as a hub or link or bridge, whatever it is not a new phenomenon, but other issues being Turkey into the agenda. And when we are discussing the North Africa and Eastern Mediterranean, a recent development is a new hydrocarbon explorations. I don't want to dwell on the Caucasian and the Black Sea things and others, but these are the issues for Turkey as well. And this new hydrocarbon explorations in the Eastern Mediterranean brings new discussions to the agenda for Turkey. And for Turkey, relationship between Israel and Greek Cypriots bring a network of energy relationships that cannot be limited with the region itself. Israel's security policies and the new regional bilateral security agreements have taken the attention of big powers, the EU, the US, and including Russia and China, to the natural gas of Eastern Mediterranean. And this situation complicates the energy issue by bringing the security dimension to it. It is anticipated that the new relationships between Israel and the Greek Cypriots will negatively affect Turkey's position in Eastern Mediterranean. Turkey has had a more determining role since 2007 in the Eastern Mediterranean within the new balances formed after 2004 Annan Plan and negotiation processes. And the last development will mean redetermining of balances and seems to hold the potential of putting the cooperation on the back burner by combining the energy competition game and at the north with the one of the south. Moreover, when Southern Cyprus is taking over the presidency of the EU's Council is considered, it will be complicated to say that the competition will continue by leaving the energy issue aside. And from this perspective, I may say that when the Turkey's interest has concerned in the Eastern Mediterranean, there are a couple of issues. The first one is delimitation. I don't want to discuss the issue because Harry and other friends in the first panel discussed in detail, but I may reply questions. The second one is oil and gas explorations and tenders. This is a serious issue for Turkey. The third one is Cyprus issue. The fourth one is Turkey-EU relations. And the fifth one is security and stability in the Mediterranean. This is a very complicated issue for Turkish authorities and Turkish decision makers. The Turkish authorities has to take into account all those issues. And for Turkey, each littoral states in the Eastern Mediterranean have their own legal and natural rights in their maritime jurisdiction areas in the south of Cyprus. And Turkish authorities repeatedly declared that Turkey does not have any claim of maritime jurisdiction area in the south of the island of Cyprus. Turkey has no objections to Israel's, Lebanon's, and Egypt's hydrocarbon activities within their own continental shelf in the Leviathan Basin, as long as these activities do not infringe upon third parties' legitimate rights and interests in the region. And this is the case. And what concerns Turkey is Greek Cypriots, in fact. This is the case. This is the reason why we have so aggressive Turkey in all those issues. And Turkey considers Greek Cypriots steps as unilateral steps, and they are concerning hydrocarbon activities in the south of the island, particularly on the grounds that these activities are violating Turkish Cypriots' equal and inherent rights over the offshore resources on the island, and onshore and offshore. Of course, this is the reason why Turkey is acting together with Northern Cyprus in all those activities and trying to push Northern Cyprus as a main pillar of its policy in southeastern Mediterranean. And for Turkey, this is the case. I picked up some points or comments from Turkish Foreign Ministry's webpage. You can see or find some of them as well. And Turkish authorities says that it's an Greek Cypriots are pursuing an adventurous policy in Eastern Mediterranean. This is a sort of adventure. And of course, all those issues between Israel and Turkey adds some other points of Turkish authorities' evaluations of the issue. And for Turkey, this is all those agreements and activities without taking Turkish Cypriots into account is against international agreements and goodwill and prevents negotiation process to reach fair and acceptable solution on the Cyprus issue. For Turkey, the Greek Cypriot administration does not represent in law or in fact the Turkish Cypriots and Cyprus as a whole. And this is the main mentality, main argumentation of Turkish authorities to discuss the issue with the third parties. Thus, as a result, Turkey considers Greek Cypriot initiatives or activities as provocative and, in quote, prejudging the Turkish Cypriots' existing and inherent equal rights over the natural resources of the island and the sea areas of the island of Cyprus. And for Turkey, the issue should be a part of the comprehensive settlement in Cyprus. Turkish and Greek Cypriots should benefit jointly from the island's natural resources. And this is the issue. And as you know, Greek Cypriots took the lead in the European Union last couple of days, and this has some direct effect on Turkey's European perspective. And Turkey has to deal with this issue by taking different perspective. And all those developments in the southeastern Mediterranean, Syrian issue, what happens in Iran and others, are also some limitations on Turkey's policies in this region. And what proposed Turkey is Dervish Eroğlu, or Turkish Cypriot administration's president's proposal to UN Secretary General. And with this, Turkey tried to reach fair and sustainable solution. There is one option to leave the issue to the aftermath of the comprehensive settlement, or the two sides should be brought together exclusively on this matter under the auspices of UN Secretary General, so that they could determine jointly the future course of offshore hydrocarbon exploration and exploitation activities around the island. And this is the big issue. And we know all those negotiations taking years and years, decades and decades, and therefore, can we find a solution? It's a little bit tough. And lastly, I may put some proposals to support cooperation within this region, to the way ahead. We know the situation in the area is fragile and prone to the new crisis if it is left unchecked. International efforts are needed to turn this looming crisis into an opportunity. It is very important. And international community has to take Turkish Cypriot rights into account for Turkey at least to cooperate and solve the issue. And the main tool is Turkish Cypriot's proposal of 24th September to the UN Secretary General. And the UN Secretary General, the Turkish Cypriots and the Greek Cypriots should be encouraged to sit together immediately in order to determine jointly the future course of offshore oil and gas activities. If achieved, this will be also boost to ongoing Cyprus talks towards comprehensive settlement. What Turkey proposed is a sort of peace pipeline to bring Turkish water to Cyprus, northern Cyprus, then to use this water together with the Greek Cypriots and enlarge all those activities, putting all those Eastern Mediterranean countries, including Israel and others, together and propose a sort of cooperation. Water from the north, gas and oil from the south, they bring together and to utilize all those sources. I'm out of time, but I would like to show some maps. I took all those maps from Turkish Foreign Ministry's website, and Harry, sorry, I have another friend in my department. Harry clarified all those discussions from the perspective of international law, or at least Turkish perspective, but I may show some others. This is for Turkish authorities that violated Turkish continental shelf area, all those delimitation. You see all those sectors, and you can just see those pictures. I'm going to leave all those pictures. If you are interested, most probably the authorities here will. I don't know whether I have one. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much indeed for your attention.